MWC World Heavyweight Championship action this week on YouTube. Jonathan Darwin joined by Stephen Hensley. Stephen, we are very familiar with the challenge. We must have called at least a dozen or so Kerry Morton matches at this point in our career.
Oh, yeah, Kerry Morton, he's got around the scene quite a bit over the past couple of years. No longer a rookie, quite a few accolades under his belt at this point, not the least of which a prior NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship reign. And today going for another championship, trying to collect an accolade at the expense of one Mr. Curt Gannon.
Yeah, Kerry Morton.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, Kerry Morton also 2024 Crockett Cup winner here. Curt Gannon, he won the title back on January 11, but due to scheduling conflicts has not been able to defend the title since. So there's a little concern that there may be some ring rust as we see Kerry Morton now go to work with a wrist lock on the big Gannon.
Gannon, though, he's turning that thing around. Great control of the wrist. Great grind on the knuckles. Kerry Morton, though, up and under. Oh, spoke a little too soon there. Gannon got him back down, grounding him.
Yeah, well, Morton's given up almost 40 pounds, give or take, here today. So you know that upper body strength of Gannon could come into play, but the speed and agility of the third-generation superstar, Kerry Morton, allows him to pull a trick or two out of his sleeve.
Oh, yeah, you know, he's learned from the best, and he grew up learning from the best. Ricky Morton, his father, very accomplished competitor up and down the road in several places, almost always in a primetime position.
Yeah, WWE Hall of Famer Ricky Morton. I remember Kerry Morton like when he was like 13, coming into the locker room with his dad, just sitting and listening. This kid's been absorbing it like a sponge for years. It's up and over, and Morton getting in the head of Gannon a little bit.
Yeah, but to his credit, Gannon not shook. He planted his feet. He didn't walk into anything. A lot of guys would have walked into the speed of Kerry Morton. He knows how to set a pace. He knows how to trip you up. He knows how to get you working in the direction he wants.
Well, the thing with Gannon and the advantage he has is he has an extensive library of Morton matches to watch to know what to try to predict is going to happen. Side headlock applied by the challenger now. And Gannon picking Morton up almost like a little bit of a rag doll coming off the ropes, and that shoulder block takes Morton straight down.
And there's the brute force the champion's known for. Gannon basically a tank in that ring.
Yeah, it's like hitting a brick wall, and you notice Kerry's nursing the shoulder a little bit and taking his time of getting back up.
And you know, all the size factors at play here. Kerry's given up a lot of those X's. 2 inches in height, nearly 40 pounds in weight. The advantage to Gannon on both those counts. He's more muscular as far as his frame. That's obvious to any man looking at the two men in the ring.
Well, where do you rate the experience factor of Morton and how that comes into play in this championship match? Because I have a feeling Morton has a few more matches under his belt than Gannon.
Yeah, but by the same token, I'd say Gannon may have a couple more fights under his.
Yeah, there's a good point, Steve. And we're seeing it now. Rear waist lock applied as Morton tries to hold on to the ropes for dear life. And Morton going straight back to work and trying to get the legs underneath Gannon out.
Gannon getting tripped up by the quicker competitor. Kerry going right in there. He's got a good hold on that leg there, trying to torque it apart. Grabbing a hold of that toe, moving it in the direction he wants. He could pop it.
Yeah, and this is where Kerry Morton's smart. Take out the legs of one of your competitors. I mean, we know the suplexes that Gannon can get off, but if he can't put weight on that leg, that's going to take a lot of moves out of the champion's arsenal.
Correct about that. And Kerry watching the positioning at every point during that exchange there. I think he was hoping for a bit more than he got with the leg, but Gannon very, very powerful. Shoots on the leg of Morton, takes him down. Nice spin. He's got a good toe hold on him right now.
Yeah, bending the foot back in a way that's not really meant to be, and you see the ligaments in trouble. And Kerry's trying to roll through, but not successful to this point. Good agility. Wait a minute. Is he getting a leg of his own there, Steve?
Well, no, he got a pinning combination out of all that. That grapevine across his leg wasn't working out for him. He said, no, sir. You get him in a pinfall situation, and it all falls apart. He's back on his feet now, and he's got that leg as far away, the leg that Gannon was trying to take apart, as far away from as he can. But Gannon backing him into the ropes. He's going to make him put some pressure on the leg. Yeah. Morton, though, turning it around, didn't have to take too many steps, but unfortunately for him, one step was all it took to go down to the mat, meaning that shoulder.
Leapfrog there by Morton and a hip toss. And this is what Morton needs to do, the speed. You can't go pound for pound with a champion. We saw the shoulder block. If it wasn't for the speed, Morton would probably be down on the canvas at this moment. And Gannon rethinking his tactics here now. He's got to find a way to slow Morton down. No doubt about it.
Well, he's been successful at slowing him down a couple of times. The problem is not slowing him down. The problem's been keeping him down.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy in that young man out there that we see. Both men sizing each other up, collar and elbow tie up. Knee to the midsection by Morton, and out of the ring goes Gannon like yesterday's garbage.
I think he'd take exception to that. I'm going to point to this moment in commentary later.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, great. I get to deal with Gannon in commentary, or excuse me, catering now.
Morton staying on top of Gannon. Great crossbody to the outside. Did him a lot of favors in maintaining the momentum.
Yeah, that coming over the top rope there is allowed Morton to get the momentum in his favor, as we see now, and going to work on the midsection of Gannon, trying to get the oxygen out of the big man. Not a horrible idea.
I think he was just trying to get a shot in myself.
Going to work again on the abdominal cavity here. Morton up and over, coming off the ropes, and I don't think he got all what he wanted, and now he's paying for it as Gannon slams down Kerry Morton to the canvas.
Yeah, I don't think Morton got what he wanted at all. He got world of hurt there. I don't think that was on the itinerary in the least.
No, and now the Tennessean in trouble as Gannon's picking the young man up by the hair. And Morton going straight to work on the throat there.
Good thrust chop to the throat there. Definitely takes the oxygen away from you. That can damage the trachea, too.
Yeah, and you see Morton now.
You may have been right. He's been targeting that midsection a whole bunch here. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Well, you take the center of gravity off of a big man like that, it's going to really throw him off their game. Plus, you're knocking that oxygen out, and when you're a bigger man like that, you need more oxygen for your muscles.
I mean, you are right about that, but Gannon built like a tank. Like, how much damage can you do to his midsection?
Well, it's all about hitting the solar plexus, too. I mean, we're not just talking about abdominal muscles, Steve. You hit that solar plexus just right, you're going to knock the wind out of your opponent. And you see that by Gannon being down now.
He's slowed down, you're right.
It looks like he's sucking a little wind from my vantage point, Steve.
And Morton, very, very spry and intelligent maneuver there, grabbing the hold of the arm, torquing it out, and just dropping it down across his knee there. That could have popped the shoulder. That could have hurt the bicep. That could have hurt the tricep. A lot of good things going in Kerry's favor.
Yeah. Kerry trying a stick and move type offense here, and I'm not sure what Kerry's completely thinking at this point, trying to pick up the legs of the big man.
I mean, whatever he was thinking, it didn't work out. And right back to working over the midsection there, just really taking him to task there.
Yeah, wait a minute. I think Morton's trying to... There's no way he's trying to go... What, is he going to try to suplex Gannon? This kid might come up short and hard if he's not careful.
Well, Morton, he's perched up top. Gannon pushing him down, though.
Yeah, but the speed of Morton has him right back in there with those forearms, slowing down any offense that Gannon can attempt to gain. And Gannon's back on the canvas again, and Morton putting the boots to him.
And, you know, Morton's riding high right now on adrenaline. That fall from the top, that should have done a lot more damage to him, but he is really out there feeling the moment right now. He's fired up about something.
Yeah, well, Morton knows that championship opportunities are rare no matter what promotion you're traveling to, especially a World Heavyweight Championship match. So you got to pull out all the stops when you're in this position. Sinton straight down on to the challenger, hooks the leg, 1, 2, but still not enough to keep Kerry Morton down.
And Gannon's really come back in this thing. Morton, though, not allowing him to enjoy that, sends him into that middle turnbuckle across the chest. And again, that does damage to the midsection that we've been talking about. That core, take that away. Take away all the extremities.
Yeah, you hear the fans getting into it now, rallying behind the Tennessean here, challenging for the MWC World Heavyweight Championship. Kerry Morton just targeting and going to work on the head of the champion here. And now into the corner they go.
And Morton hasn't let up on the champion for a moment in this contest. I gotta admit, I'm surprised by the way things have been going throughout. For everything Gannon's been able to throw his way, Morton's had an answer.
Yeah, well, that comes from the years of experience that he's already got traveling with his father, going for a pin, but putting the leg across the larynx there.
And you know, we say the word experience, but it almost glosses over the fact Kerry is extremely young in this sport. He is a young man.
Yeah, he's in his early 20s, if my calculations are right. And now rear chin lock applied as Kerry Morton keeps Gannon grounded, going to work on the carotid artery. And this also works on the breath of the champion again, Curt Gannon. I mean, you go to work on the stomach, and now you're going to work on the carotid artery. It's going to be harder and harder for Gannon to catch his breath the longer this match goes on.
And you see him fighting to stay awake right now. He knows if he lets those arms drop, if he gets comfortable, he could be out like a light. You can't relax in a situation like this. Kerry Morton right now, he's basically a boa constrictor trying to squeeze the life out of you. You want to get eaten or you want to keep your title? Gannon wants to keep the title.
And Gannon getting up to the vertical base, gets loose and free, and Morton going for the swing and a miss. Gannon
turns him inside out with that one.
And Kerry Morton on hands and knees over in the corner as Gannon gets ready to call his shot in the corner. All that weight coming down on Kerry Morton and tossing him again here. This is what Gannon needed.
And Gannon taking Morton to task over the way things have been going throughout this contest. All of his frustration, taking it out now. Good release on the belly-to-back suplex. Morton saying, come get me, but he's also grabbing the back of his neck right now. So maybe he's thinking, I don't know, man. I don't know that he is thinking.
I think that he's trying to find a way to get back to his feet. He's got to go back to what works. Going back to the speed. Going back to work on the oxygen of your opponent.
I think he's thinking about going to the outside of the ring and catching a bit of a respite.
But an eye rake by Kerry Morton, very rare to see that out of the future legend here. As Morton comes in with a knee.
He nailed that one too, right straight to the temple.
And Morton going for a pin here. But not enough. Not enough by Kerry Morton here. And the way that knee hit the nose, Steve, I thought the eyes of Gannon was watered. And I bet that's what Kerry Morton was thinking too.
I mean, that's what we were all thinking. We all saw it was picturesque.
And Morton arguing with the referee. This is unlike behavior that I've seen out of Kerry Morton.
Well, he's frustrated. He thought he had this thing wrapped up. That makes sense to me, but you can't let frustration take over for you. And Morton knows that. He doesn't like the situation, but he knows the one he's in. He's still got to fight if he wants to walk out of here with his head and his hand held high.
And Morton's slapping around Gannon now, trying to play some psychological games on the champion. I mean, why not? Everything else has worked so far, so why not get a chance to try to get the man on tilt?
Well, we'll see if it works. It seems to have woken up the champ, though. He's got him in a prime choke position, and you see the way he's positioning him.
Yeah, center of the ring.
And the way he's using his weight right now, Morton, he knows he has to fight against it.
Morton getting into the ropes to finally break free of the hold. That's probably the only thing that saved Kerry at this point. And look at the way that Kerry's hurting now. Just slunked over as he tries to catch his breath after almost being choked out by the champion.
Yeah, what a difference a couple seconds makes. But Kerry Morton, conditioned competitor, as conditioned as they come. You see all the energy, he still has it.
Oh, sit down power power bomb.
He may have lost it, but he had it.
Going for the pin here. This could be all we can see. What's Mark Bland doing out here? Mark Bland has no business being out here.
Well, I don't know what he's invested in, but Gannon unhappy.
Wait a minute. Morton going for a roll-up. Wait, trying to put his feet on the ropes, but a handful of trunks by Kerry Morton?
John, we have a new champ.
Yeah, 3 count. Kerry Morton resorting to something that I'm not used to seeing him doing. Well, the fans are pleased. I mean, Kerry, I guess he knew he had to pull out all the stops here today if he was going to walk out the MWC World Heavyweight Champion, which he has now. And Mark Bland, of all people, presenting the title to Kerry Morton. I got to do some more investigation into this little soiree we're seeing out there.
You know, it's worth noting, I don't really see Kerry slapping hands with a lot of people. He's walking through the crowd, but I don't see him high-fiving anyone.
Yeah, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and your new World Heavyweight Champion, Kerry Morton.